Nintendo, how you have made people like me into the gamers that we are today. Pretty much got my start on a regular Nintendo Entertainment System. Sat there for hours upon hours, playing shit tons of games that I can barely beat nowadays, but trounced the living shit out of them back in the day. Moved on to things like Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, all the way up to Gamecube and Nintendo Wii, and even suffered through some other things, like the Virtual Boy. I don't know how I have good vision still, but I did manage. And, and we don't even have to go into their handheld offerings, because quite frankly, they are fucking ace. But I'm going to go and talk a little bit about my all-time favorite Nintendo system. Now, for years, I had just automatically assumed it was the Nintendo Entertainment System. The original, the NES. That gray box of fucking goodness. Center-blown cartridges trying to get that bitch to work. Blinking screen, why the fuck do you keep blinking? I know this game's clean, I know this fucking content fucking work. But, yeah, then I got a top-loading Nintendo and never really had to worry about that again. So, ha, take that. But the regular Nintendo, it's what got my start. I still remember being 4 years old. 4 years old. Not ever once playing a video game, not an arcade, nothing. This was my first experience sitting down. Parents had left, don't touch that. Right, don't touch that. That means mess with this while we're not around so we can scold you later. I never got caught, so it didn't matter. And what are they going to say now? Oh, why'd you do that? You're a fucking nerd now, so their fault. But anyway, so sat down and seeing Mario for the first time and actually hitting that button for the first time, and him jumping. I was just like, you know, I had made a video about my video game memories, and that's a memory that I've carried with me ever since as a gamer. You know, it was the very first time I got to do that. I was just blown away. Pressing forward, this little dude got to walk forward. I was just like, holy shit. I'm like God now. I can't believe this. You know, it's amazing. But I truly feel like my all-time favorite Nintendo system is the Super Nintendo. And for everybody overseas, the Famicom, the Super Famicom. But I say this because, I mean, as a kid, you know, I absolutely loved the living shit out of my games. But it's really, you know, as I got older, I became, you know, my taste in things matured and got better over time. And the Super NES library opening up to so many different genres. Okay, that was my first experience with things like RPGs. It also holds true to my favorite Legend of Zelda game, Link to the Past. Yeah. Love that game. Okay, Super Mario World, Super Mario All-Stars, which was the first time many of us got to experience anything that we could consider an HD remake, because it was Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, and the Lost Levels, all rolled up into one nice little package, and they gave that shit away for free. I got that shit for free. It was fucking awesome. Except for the Super Mario Bros. 25th Anniversary Collection on Nintendo Wii, which is just All-Stars on a disc. That was fucking funny. Yeah. Lots of laughs to be had. Look at this laughter. See all that laughter? Tons. Anyhow. But back on point. Super Nintendo? Okay, we had Final Fantasy III, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound. How about one of my all-time favorite multiplayer games, Secret of Mana? Secret of Mana, how I love you! But Secret of Mana, seriously, you get that shit going with 3 players, that's fucking awesome. Seriously, absolute goodness. Super Metroid? Super Metroid was amazing. And like I was saying before, Link to the Past just, oh man, the first time booting that up, I was just blown away. Star Fox? Okay, come on, Star Fox, Killer Instinct, which we're still waiting for a Killer Instinct sequel. That would be super duper, you know, rare. What are you making right now, anyway? Are you making more avatars on Xbox? Is that what you're doing? Making avatars? Making cute little shirts for them to wear? Maybe they can wear a municipal waste shirt. That'd be pretty nifty. Well, why don't you make some games? That'd be super. Why don't you do that? Rare. How the mighty have fallen. But regardless, Star Fox, absolutely amazing, and was also capable of showing off the Super FX chip. Donkey Kong Country. The very first time I saw Donkey Kong Country, I was just like, I can't believe games look this good. How can games look this good? This is like the most amazing thing ever. You know, I'm pretty sure I left out an RPG. I bet everybody was thinking, you know, he left out an RPG, a very important RPG. Actually, I left out a couple, but the one of most notable interest who's in it again? It's this little Italian guy. He jumps on shit and everything. Squaresoft helped make it. It was Super Mario RPG? Yes. Yes, indeedy do. Indeedy do times 2 times 3 times 5 times fucking awesome. Yes, that's a number now because Super Mario RPG is awesome. Oh, and Breath of Fire 2, which I've long debated over which was my favorite in the series. Breath of Fire 2 or Breath of Fire 3. I still say 3, but Breath of Fire 2 comes in a very, very, very close second. Fucking love that game. Also, Breath of Fire 1 is no slouch whatsoever. You know, I mean, there's a catalog of games on it that it's just endless. Endless of absolute awesome-tastic fun. And it makes me very, very happy. You know, anytime that I ever thought about, you know, sitting down and playing it, it was just fucking cool. It gave us shoulder buttons. A lot of us were just like, shoulder buttons? That's just so fucking weird. I can dig this, yeah. And now we have shoulder buttons and trigger buttons, so that's pretty bitchin'. Stuff like that, it was very innovative at the time. Graphically, it was a powerhouse. It had third-party lockdown. You know, it had so much to offer, and this thing was going head-to-head with the Sega Genesis at the time. And, you know, 16-bit wars, it was a very big deal. As a matter of fact, you know, the Super Nintendo was technically what kind of created the PlayStation, for many of you out there who aren't aware. The PlayStation originally was just going to be a CD add-on to the Super Nintendo. But Nintendo pulled out, signed a deal with Philips. The CDI came of that, and the PlayStation went on to be the PlayStation, the powerhouse it is today. Fucked up how things work. Just imagine if things changed though. Can you imagine PlayStation being under Nintendo's label? Just absolute fucking... I can't even imagine what it would be like nowadays. Like Twisted Metal on PS3, Resident Evil on the PlayStation, Super Nintendo. What the fuck? Oh man, it seriously would be mind-blowing. But, you know, it is what it is nowadays. And Super Nintendo, you know, it was just a rockin'-ass system. I mean, you know, the 64, GameCube, the regular Nintendo, the Wii, none of them were slouches by any means. But I have to say that, you know, a little bit of nostalgia is going to help me make this decision, but I will have to say my all-time favorite is Super Nintendo, just based purely off the fact of the experiences that I had with it growing up. You know, playing Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, things like that, going and playing through racing games like F-Zero with my friends and Mario Kart. It was just like, these are fucking awesome-ass series. You know, absolutely love the living shit out of them. Playing things like Super Mario World, playing through the entire game, ducking. Like, I kept Mario ducked throughout the entire game, just for shits and giggles, because I bastarded the game so many times, but I never got bored of it. I'm still not bored of it today. You know, and now we have how many ROM hacks of it, because people still love going back to that kind of stuff. And many of us still consider many of those games on to be all-time classics. I mean, absolute legendary games. You know, for instance, the Kirby collection's coming out, and it's got some of those games from the Super Nintendo era. Why? Because they're fucking classics, and they deserve the respect that they get. And just all around, absolutely love it. Oh, and here's another old toss out there. Super Castlevania 4. You know, just one of the all-time best Castlevanias ever made was on Super Nintendo. It was just fucking awesome. It is. You know, I could go on for hours just listing off an endless sea of games and everything, but eventually that'll get tiresome and very boring. But I want to go over a bunch of games that were, you know, the reason why I would say that this is my own personal top pick. You know, again, I'm not saying any other ones are slouches. They're not, by any means. Nintendo is a badass motherfucking company. Super Nintendo, though, for me, I'm definitely going to say takes top spot. With the Nintendo Entertainment System coming out very, very close second. You know, for years it was the Nintendo Entertainment System, but, yeah, I'd say Super Nintendo, yeah, it is the best for me. So, that begs the question, what is your favorite Nintendo system, and why? You know, what games on there were the definitive reason for you to say that this is the reason why I like this system so much? You know, what was it? The controllers? What was it? The graphics? Was it? I mean, what was out at the time? You know, maybe it's what's out right now. But what console? Nintendo console? We're not talking about the handhelds or anything like that. We're just talking about the consoles. What is your favorite Nintendo console and why? Comment down below in the comment box, and it's a big old Nintendo to circle jerk and everything like that. But yeah, talking about this stuff, it's pretty fucking fun. So anyway, I want to go and share my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions, and my memories, most of all, with the Super NES. So, as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, game the fuck on. And how did I forget this? How the fuck did I forget this? There is one more very important game. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I was so fucking stoked when I saw this game for the very first time, sitting on a store shelf, and I had seen it inside of video game magazines, so I was like, I have to have that game. And then my birthday came around, and what do you want? Do you want a party? Do you want all these other random things? I just want one thing. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And I ended up getting that for my birthday. That was my birthday present. I was happier than shit. All those stages, all those awesome weapons, all those awesome monsters, it's just absolutely flat out fucking amazing. Love the living shit out of it. If you've not played it, you should go and download it at some point or find a physical copy and enjoy living shit out of it. Real deal style. Seriously, a very good game, and again, another random memory of mine for a reason why I loved it a whole bunch. Granted, it's available on Sega 16-bit Monster as well, but I have to tell you, honest truth, the Super Nintendo version is a ton better for various reasons. But still, you should go check the game out because it's really awesome, and all I can say is Super Nintendo, fuck yeah!